Hey, ChiroMafia, here we are. We're with the Dom. Check him out. Got a
How
new
you
hairdo.
doing?
That's your convertible East Coast hairdo
Yeah, I
going
was in
on.
the convertible earlier, so
Yeah, so it looks perfect, man.
I
You could have
appreciate
done it
that.
better yourself.
I need a haircut, but
It's like no gel, just hey,
it's
hey,
just
babe, I got to do my hair. Let's put the top down.
that's the beauty of living in Florida, man. It's beautiful. Like, hey, you want to take the convertible? Let's take the convertible.
Yep, I got to fix my hair in the morning.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It's all good. So, hey, we were talking on here before, man. It's we're on coaching calls all the time, obviously, and it's like, with if you just master a couple things,
Yeah,
you just got to master a couple things,
yes,
people like to make things so complicated. You
yes,
literally grow your practice to any
yes,
size.
yes,
And the thing is, what's everybody doing? Well, new patient, new patient, new patients. Why? Because there's the old problem, the retention problem that people, the profession actually hasn't mastered yet.
yes,
And so what do, man? We keep resorting to new patients. Now, do you need new patients? Absolutely. There's
sure.
a natural attrition, but if you got a high PVA, eventually you're going to get enough people coming once a week with their families that then you don't need them. I mean, you
Correct,
need them to get there
correct.
because there's a natural attrition. But at some point, after a few years, you shouldn't really need them anymore.
Right,
Well, how
correct.
do you do that? Well, the main thing we talk about three things. If you master three things, and we've talked about this on other podcasts. One,
Sure.
you got to master the principle, man. Spinal cord's a lifeline. It's like it's not you have one. It's your anatomy. It's not anatomy. It's your identity,
Yes,
right?
correct.
How much energy is getting through there is, would you agree? Here's a great question. Let me ask you a question. Let me ask it like Joe would. Let me ask you a question. Would you agree? We'll give you a combination. Let me ask you a question, and would you agree? That's a combination of you and I. Would you agree that your quality of health determines your quality of life?
Yes.
Everybody's going to say, yeah. Well, if
Yeah.
that's dependent on the energy through the spinal cord, then do you think your spine and spinal cord is determining your quality of life? Everybody's going to say, yeah. Well, I didn't know that. No, because nobody freaking told you, right? All your MDs, that's why you're on drugs. That's why you got this, why you got that, create the enemy. And then you're passing it to your kids. Four questions. Here's what I'm getting to. Who'd you get it from? Well, I'm just like my mom. If I look at my family, my dad has allergies, my sister has allergies. My mom, me, and my other sister don't have allergies. My dad and my older sister have allergies. Who'd you get it from? Oh, my dad, wicked allergies, right? That ends up, as you get older, into autoimmune and ends up in cancer. So, mom
Right.
probably had a
Right.
bout of cancer. The
Right.
patient probably has autoimmune. She's got a daughter that's got allergies. It's all the same thing. Look for patterns, not problems.
Exactly. Yeah.
Patterns are system. Who'd you get it from? My mom. Who are you giving it to? My daughter.
Yes.
Okay, now that you can break that pattern, and that's a posture, a spinal pattern, it's not genetic, it's a spinal pattern. And now that you're aware of that, then you give them purpose. Do you see that you can not only stop that pattern now, but you can break that pattern in the health of every future generation? How hard was that?
Right. Exactly.
Now imagine if every patient, you got 4 to 5 members of their family tree. And that
Yes.
doesn't even include their friends.
More of I know this is shocking. This is a scientific study. More family members come in if you ask them to bring their family members in. I don't know if you saw that, but yeah.
Oh my God, I know.
I think sometimes docs are waiting for, you're waiting for the moment to feel right or perfect. You're waiting for you to feel comfortable. Sometimes in the moment, you kind of build yourself up to have some of these conversations, and sometimes they feel forward, maybe a little assertive for where you're at. I appreciate that. And then you talk yourself out of the moment. You're like, "Oh, I don't know, Fred he doesn't seem like, I don't know, he just seems like he's in a rush today. It's not a good day to talk to him about his kids or whatever." And then, that line that I always quote, whatever you're doing at any given moment, you're making yourself better at it. So the more you talk yourself out of it every time and you write a story for them, then it becomes easier not to ask. And all of a sudden it becomes habit not to ask. And then it becomes a habit for no family members to come in. So what Fred is teaching you when he talks about asking these questions, you don't have to be perfect, and they don't have to be perfect. Yeah, you'll get better. You have to be willing to suck to get perfect. Like you have to be willing to not be perfect in order to get perfect. That's the only way that you're going to get really good at it. But by doing it, if you come from a place of service and you come from a place of grace and gratitude, and you put, it doesn't mean your interests aren't involved, but if you put their interest ahead of your own, good things will happen. They'll see your authenticity. They'll see your genuine nature. They'll see the mission, the purpose, the why. And you've already given them some platform of education. You've asked them the appropriate questions through deductive and inductive reasoning to lead them to where they got to go. And I think sometimes, maybe you'll hear me and you'll hear Fred and you're like, well, you guys got to figure it out, or it's easy for you guys. It wasn't easy for me. And I know it wasn't easy for Fred when we started, but I think in the end, just start asking, even if it's not perfect, even if it's not Fred DiDomenico quality, just start doing it. And great things will start to happen for them and your practice.
Well, it's so funny. It's like, we go, and you hear this, the internal language. Well, I don't know, is this the right time, or what are they going to think? Jeez, man. I mean, did we go through all that in the beginning? Yeah. And then you think, with all the amount of time and energy I just put into my own internal language, I just could have said, hey, man, your overall health's improved 40%.
Right, right.
You didn't know your spinal cord was your lifeline. Look at all that healing was trapped in your body. It's now being released. Anybody can say that.
Yes, correct.
Do you think you should bring your wife?
Right.
By the time you go through all the internal language, you just could have said, hey, man, your health's improving. Would you agree? Do you think you should bring your family? I mean, they have a spinal cord, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Well, I can't say that.
Yeah.
No, that's not true.
Yeah. Our Boreoism is, who do you know? We say, who do you know? Who do you love? Who do you care about that you'd love to see receive care in this office? So Fred, let me ask you, who do you know? You've had some great benefits, whatever. So like, who do you know? Who do you love? I mean, like, who pops in your mind? Who do you care about that you'd love to see receive care in the office? It's a nice, smooth transition because they're going to talk family. If they say nothing, give you deer in the headlights. Well, let me ask you this, Fred. Has your wife been in? Have the kids been in to get checked yet? Like it sets a foundation for the conversation. You got to have you have to have the conversation if you're going to have retention with people that are well. Here's what we know statistically. Well over 90%, it's higher than that, of people that come into your office with a ailment, a problem, a symptom are going to get better to the point of they don't have it anymore. We have the highest satisfaction and we have the highest safety. So you're the safest, highest efficacy, and highest satisfaction of any other healthcare provider. We know that for sure. So at some point, whoever you're taking care of, who's ever in front of you is going to feel good. They're going to feel good. So the question is, you have to master remaining, sustaining relevant. Your care, what you provide, has to be, you have to master relevance with well people. Like, I think that's where we lose it. Like, you have to master some ways. Fred's got a different way, let's say, of wording it. He doesn't have a different way of doing it than I do. So we've got a couple of different ways to approach that. But you'll notice that everything he says and everything I say is elevating relevance to everyone. It's not to some people. It's elevating the relevance of what you do to everyone. So my test would be if you go to a room, if I said, "Hey, Bob, Dr. Bob, come on. I'm gonna train you. I'm Dr. Joe, Dr. Fred and I, we're gonna train you." And you have a room full of 45 people in that room, and they are really well-conditioned athletes. They have, or people, let's say, they have no overt symptomatology. I'm not saying they're all perfect. I'm not saying they're not subluxated. I'm not saying they're at optimum health. But from the medical vantage point, they have no symptoms at all. What would you say? What would your talk be to that room full of 30 people? Like, because that's what you have to master. You have to master talking to people, asking questions, engaging with people that are so-called well, and elevate the relevance of chiropractic care and what you do to that room to get them all in your office to get checked. And when you could start to do that, then what happens is because those people are going to be your people in your practice. They're going to get care and go, wow, I'm doing great. Thank God I don't need to do this anymore. Like, how do you elevate relevance to where, hey, it's even more relevant for you to get the care, not less, right? So what tools, what skill sets, what's your mindset, what's your justification, what's your science, what's your philosophy, what's the purpose behind the why, right? Get all that in alignment, get your language in alignment, and then start taking action on it. Like that's what you have to do to elevate your relevance and
Yeah.
retention.
Well, I want to simplify that. So, one, 3 words, know your audience, right? So, who's your audience? Hey, they're a bunch of athletes who are already well. And
Right.
here's the problem because we teach people how to go through organ problems and get this and get that. And then doctors, they think they're selling a sick model,
Correct.
selling a sick care model. Now, you go to
Correct.
a room full of athletes where people have no
Correct.
symptoms, a la, la, la. You're not selling a sick model. You're never selling a sick model. All you're doing in a consultation exam is seeing what level of health are they at. Your
Correct.
only job is to get them to 100%,
Correct. Right. Your
which
product is a
is,
better life. It's not chiropractic. Your product is a better life. Your vehicle is the adjustment. So
yeah, get them to 100% health, which means you got to
correct.
have a healthy spinal structure. So
Correct.
you have a healthy spinal cord that carries
Right.
100% energy into your organs.
Yes.
That's it.
100%.
So if you're
Yes.
at 95%, do you want to be at 100?
Correct.
That's the way I would talk to an athlete. Like
Correct.
like highly competitive athletes, pros, high amateur, whatever. I tell them, look, man, you're like 12-cylinder Ferrari. Hey, you're healthy, you're strong, you're doing all this. Compared to that 4-cylinder Volkswagen you're seeing around the general public, yeah, you blow everybody out of the way, but you're competing against other
Correct.
12-cylinder Ferraris, man. If you're at 11, nobody remembers second,
Exactly.
and that
Exactly.
would piss them off.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
Hey, at 11, you're blowing the general public out of the
Right.
water.
Exactly.
That's not the point. That's not who you are.
Exactly.
So your goal is if you're at 97, what would you do to get to 100? And
Right.
people that do all the things in their life that would be at 97 will spend whatever and invest whatever it takes to be at 99
Yes.
because those are the 1% people.
Yes.
So anyway, so what's the bottom line? I got tired of asking for referrals, so then I quit asking. Then what I did was it was a way I would teach generational patterns. You're passing it to your kids. That's not that's not asking for a referral. Who do you know who? And that's a great question. The questions you said, and the question that we usually say is, who are the 3 people you love the most?
Yes.
Same type of question, right? But then if
Yes.
you're teaching generational patterns right from day one, every parent's going to want to get their kid checked.
Exactly.
They're going to want their
Exactly.
husband to come in. Why? Because he's contributing a pattern to your kids. And if your husband has any variable or any influence on the health of your kids for the rest of your life, would you want to know about it? Would you want him to know about it? What are you going to do to protect the health of your kids if there's a pattern that your family's contributing to your kids, let alone you? How
Right.
important is it to get him to review your x-rays tomorrow?
Exactly.
So, some people espouse to the ROF. Well, they communicate it like it's a rule. Well, people don't want to follow your rules.
Correct.
But if you communicate it in a way that makes them want them there,
Correct.
because you're speaking to their values.
Yeah, it's a concern. It's significant. It's going to be important he's here. I mean, that's a totally different approach. And will they, can use it, a good idea? Would you like to? I mean, what the fuck? I mean, lead some people here. How significant do you think the subluxation is? How detrimental is it having a sick, diseased nervous system? I mean, you got to own that, right? For no man can afford to words or acts that which are not in harmony with their own beliefs. If they choose to do so, they fail with their ability to influence other people. Napoleon Hill, you can't sell it unless you own it. You can't lead them unless you can lead yourself. So unless you're willing to wait, this is significant. It's not the only thing out there, but this is my wheelhouse. This is what I do. Your overall health and ability to function is going to certainly be detrimental with a subluxation. It's going to be affected in a negative way. So you need to own that, and then you need to lead others to own that, and you're going to have more and more people follow. But if you go in there and make it, well, you're a little off, it's a little this, it would be nice if they came in, and you're not asking those questions with the level of, at least some level of sincerity, conviction that Fred's talking about, you're not going to lead anybody. I mean, it's
Well, and
crazy.
that's, you made a comment where you say, well, it's not the only thing out there. Well, it's not the only thing, it's the first thing.
Yeah,
Like,
yes,
what would you get if you don't have energy? What would you do first? What would you do before that? If you're not getting 100% energy, I mean, for your health is energy, man. Your life is energy. That's the
exactly,
foundational problem of all disease is an energy problem. They don't have a health problem. They got an energy problem. They have a health condition that's a result of an energy problem. Man, if
exactly.
you just got that, what I just said right there, your whole life changes.
Exactly correct. Correct. Well, their life changes, right? I mean, in the end, it's like I know you're saying that, but that's what you're doing. Like, make it about them. How do you get through the fear? How do you get through the anxiety? How do you get through the stress? Make it about them. Make it more about them than you. Make it more important for them to get care than you getting rejected or you getting embarrassed or you saying the wrong thing or whatever. Like, who gives a shit? Just do it. Get over it. Do it. Just simply doing it. Simply asking people, is it the perfect way? No. But hey, who's your chiropractor? Who takes care of you? Who's adjusting you? I mean, just to take 5 business cards in your wallet and make sure by the end of the week, I would do it by the end of the day, but end of the week, all your cards are gone and you've asked 5 people. Like, how many? I talk to people. I talk to chiros. How I want to grow my practice. Great. Open up your wallet. Do you have business cards? Do you have a flyer? Do you have anything on you at all? No. Well, like, what do you say to the universe? I got 5 cards in my wallet. By the end of the week, I know for a fact that those 5 cards are gone because I talked to 5 different people about chiropractic. I talked to them about coming into my office. Like, what's going to happen? Less people aren't going to come in if you ask 5 people. I mean, you're not going to have less people come in. You're going to have more people come in. And you know what? You might ask 4 people and it goes nowhere. And all of a sudden, the 5th guy you asked, oh my God, and I got to get my wife and kids in. All of a sudden, you end up getting 5 or 6 people from the one. But if you're not even willing to do that, you don't have to be on every minute. You don't, I know some people get, pushback on that. I get it. You don't have to be Joe Burrow and Fred DiDomenico. I get where, I would say Lance Armstrong and a bike, where our level of conviction is going to be a little higher. I get it. We're leaders. We're leading you to that level. I got it. But you got to do something. You got to do something because you can't sit there and think you're going to post something on Facebook. You can't sit there and just go, I'm going to do Instagram and all these people are going to come in. It doesn't work. It doesn't work.
It's so funny. I mean, you say 5. I never walked out of my clinic or my front door without 3 cards.
Yeah.
Now I
Right.
would do 3, but I'm only going to be gone for 2 hours. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So it's like, yeah, why would I do that? I mean, I would leave my, the morning shift. Of course, I'd go to the gym. I'd have my my hat, my fleece, my
Yes.
t-shirt, you're like a
Yes.
walking billboard.
Yes.
And then, I mean, how many times someone in the gym, are you a chiropractor?
Yes. Exactly.
You're not even, you're just minding your own business. And then, of
Exactly.
course, you say something to somebody, but I would just walk out of my clinic after the morning shift with three cards going, I'm going to talk to three people at lunch.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, I'm in the gym. Well, I pick up my sandwich to go or whatever it is. I'm talking to three people. That's how you build a practice.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, you gotta love it. And then the next thing is, I think the next important thing is, you know, it, I mean, I know that the highest consciousness is divine love. It's
Yes.
almost like you gotta hate something. You got to have an enemy, right? Like, what did I
Yes.
hate? I hated the medical paradigm. I hate the fact that you think you're going to have a health problem. They're not going to tell you about the spine and nervous system, and they're going to give you drugs. And then they're going to want to vaccinate your kids.
Right.
So when I had a new patient that was a mom or whatever, I'm not going in to create a patient. I'm going in because you will never go to an MD
Right.
again. Not first, only for an emergency or a crisis, probably injury, not a health crisis, because you're going to be under lifetime chiropractic care.
Right.
But I know I already got it. I already got to get your kids. I'm looking on the patient application form. You have three kids. I'm going in to get your kids. That means I
Right.
have to talk to you in a way that makes you want to bring your husband. You're going to go to the workshop and you're signing up your family in 3 days
Right.
because I'm not trying to build a practice one at a time. I'm not
Right.
even trying to build a practice. I'm
Right.
going in there because if you're sitting in front of me and I have a chance for a day one, that you're not going to use medicine anymore.
Yes.
You're not going to take your kids to the pediatrician anymore. Why would
Right.
you do that? It's the most dangerous place in the on the world to take your family.
Yes.
And so that's the thing. You're not going in to get it. If you're trying to close a patient, anybody can do that. Miss Jones, how's your back pain affecting your life? Great, sign up. I mean,
Right.
I need a weekend seminar to do
You
that, or
straight, you straight or crooked? Crooked. How long's it been there? A long time. How long does it take correct? A long time. Is that good or bad? Make it healthy or sick? Like it's easy.
oh,
Right.
I know. So,
We'll
so
get the
that's
family in. Yeah. It's a great line. Like I hear you, I hear me. And I know you deal with this too, Fred. And hey, you guys are from New York and you guys do this. There's a great line from Nick Saban, the football coach, but he says that passion can sound like aggression to the unmotivated. And
right.
I think so often, you
Who
talk to
said that?
Saban, the football
Oh,
coach.
Nick Saban.
Yeah. And I tweaked it a little bit, but that's the reality of it. Sometimes people hear like, oh wow, geez, it's aggressive. It's not aggressive, it's passion. You know why it sounds aggressive to you? Because you're not motivated, because you're not passionate. So you listen to somebody and go, oh, geez. It's like, wait a minute. What would you do? Like, wouldn't you be screaming? Wouldn't you be yelling? Wouldn't you be, and then granted, you can't be like crazy, but if you found something that you knew that would affect humanity, wouldn't you talk about it? But why don't we do that? We're afraid of being rejected. We're afraid of people saying no. Like, who cares? If I got to talk to 10 people to get one yes, and that's as good as my skill set is, my skill set, if I go talk to 10 people, I got 10 cards in my wallet, or I got 10 people out to talk, I'm only good enough to get one person. Well, shit, if I want two people, I got to go talk to 20 people. Like, it's really that simple, right? If I want three, I got to talk to 30. Now, hopefully your skill set gets better. Okay, now I can get 3 out of 10, so now I get 5 out of 10. Hey, I can get 50% of whoever I talk to come into my office. Great. I want 5 people. I talk to 10, I get 5 people. I talk to 20, I get 10 people. Like, that's the game. That's how you got to do it. You got to go out and do it. You got to get better at it. You got to find some skill sets. You got to hone in on them. But I can assure you, doing nothing is going to get you nothing.
Well, we do know that. That's math.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know they know that. I think I understand what you're saying and we're being funny, but it's, I don't, they're, they, you get the, I'm not going to do anything. Let me make myself smaller. Let me make myself, everything's going to be okay. They're just going to come in. No, they're not. They're not. You have to get out there. You have to have conversation. You don't have to be a freak. But one of my stories, I'll tell you, Fred, which I share this a lot. I was at and you probably heard me tell it before, but I was at the New York State Fairgrounds. I was in the Center of Progress building. So you're at the New York State Fair, and the state of New York has a chiropractic booth, and they ask me every year to do it. And some years I do it, some years I don't. It's a pain in the ass on every level, but I'm doing it. So I'm doing it that year. And for multiple reasons, it's disorganized the whole 9 yards. So I'm doing the thing, and I finish my shift. I do about 6 hours. So I finish, I walk around, and we got a booth, and we're screening people for chiropractic. And I'm definitely not a shy guy. I'm out there. I walk around the corner, and there's a stage, literally a freaking stage. And there's a guy standing on the stage, and he's got water and soda and wine, and he's got all these props. I have no idea because I'm not really paying attention. So all of a sudden he's got the headset with the microphone. He's like, "Hey, I don't remember his name, but hey, it's Bill, da 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 da." We're really excited. People are literally 5 deep around the whole stage. There's got to be 60, 70 people just from the start. Ends up being about 200, 300 people by the end of his presentation, which was 20 minutes. And he's selling the sham wow. It's a fucking synthetic paper towel to absorb things. That's what he's doing. And he's like, "Oh, this is going to be great. And, look at this. Now I'm going to need a volunteer from the crowd." So somebody raises their hand, and he's like, "Oh, you know about wine? That must be awful. I got carpet. I got linoleum." He's got all this shit, and he dumps it on the thing, and everyone's like, "Wow, oh my God." And then he puts the sham wow on there, and he takes a bucket and he squeezes it, and, showing how much is absorbed in the whole 9 yards. It's a great product. I bought one, by the way. It's a great product. It was great. But I left there going, "My God, look at the enthusiasm." And this guy's got a crowd, and he's selling a fucking paper towel. And we're over there going, "Oh, geez, would you like to get your family check?" Like we're being these timid little people when we have something that can change humanity. And this guy is selling paper towels. And it just showed me, why are we struggling? Why are we where we are? Because of the level of our conviction to play the game. We are not where we need to play the game. We want to play the game small. We don't want to take any bullets. We want to make sure that we don't get rejected. We're always thinking about protecting ourselves. Rather than this guy, he gets up there and he sold the place out on paper towels. So if we could grab at least some of that, you're going to change the world.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I think we get the basic idea there, man. So,
Yeah,
make your purpose bigger than your fear.
totally.
Yeah, and then keep it simple, Yeah, I always
Keep it
say,
simple.
if you throw out your doctor title and just be a person that cares about another
Yes,
person,
correct, correct.
then you're just going to say very simple things.
Yes, correct.
And that's because people don't understand anything more complicated than, "Hey, you think you should bring your kids in?"
Right,
If the way
exactly.
their spine and nervous system is developing now can affect their health for the rest of their life.
Yes. How
And
long
you
you
have
been cooking
power.
for, Bob? Your whole life. Jeez, I
Yeah,
mean,
and you have power
better
over
time to
that,
start would
man.
have been when you were a kid. Let's talk about getting the kids in. Like, it's so easy to get to that place to have the right conversation. So,
Yeah, so
yeah, great.
so anyway,
Oh,
man, hey,
good talking to you.
subscribe these,
Yeah,
send these
share.
around.
Yeah,
I mean, I get comments from people that hey, listen to your podcast, and here's the one liner I heard, and I use it in my
yeah,
practice. And this person I've been talking to over and over, they finally brought their kids in.
yes, yes,
Like
yes,
pay attention, man. Take notes, hit
yes,
rewind, write it down again, mimic the one liner
yes, yes,
until they become your own or you create your own.
yes.
And so
Share.
that's why we do this.
Like,
We have a
yeah,
very impromptu conversation. It's just me and Joe talking, right? But the simple things that come out are life changing.
totally. For yours and theirs. For
Yeah,
yours and theirs.
absolutely. So I love you guys. Subscribe, share, and
Yes, share
we'll see
them.
you soon.
Share these to 3 to 5 people each time you watch it. Thanks, Fred.
There you go. Hey, love you, man. Peace.